Hi guys, it's Angie and welcome to my channel where I talk about cross stitch. You guys, I have like 560 subscribers. I remember going months with roughly 450, and in the last 2 months, I want to say, I have jumped to an even higher number, and that's so exciting. So thank you for subscribing to my channel. I am not the most rigid with my schedule right now because it's summer and lots of changes and lots of different things happening, and so I'm not on my weekly videos right now. So I do appreciate all the new subscribers, and I'm happy to have you, so welcome. And of course, to all my old subscribers, welcome. I'm happy to have you. So it's July 11th. My last video was, I want to say, at the beginning or the end of June, but it was not quite July yet. So I know I didn't give you my June stats, which I have right here. So I'm going to start with June stats, and then I have a few acquisitions, but I can't actually really show you most of them because they're not here yet, but I will tell you about them, and then I will show you what I worked on because yes. All right, so for June, for the entire month of June, I worked on 6 things. I worked on Never Ending Cycle for 1 day, and that's part of the laundry trio, and so each one has its own name. So Never Ending Cycle was 1 day, and I did 418 stitches on that. Red, White, and Bloom, I did there's 5 patterns in the entire little booklet of Red, White, and Bloom, and I did the biggest, like the largest pattern. I worked on that for 2 days, and that was 573 stitches. Dark Queen, you guys, Dark Queen is my life. I worked on that for 9 days, and I did 4,291 stitches in that, and I can't wait to show you because I not only finished it in the nick of time, I've also started working on the new part that came out on July 1st. So I'm not even going to show you the picture of part 10 finished because I might. Okay, yeah, so when I get to that, I'll show you part 10 because I've got it moved around in my Q-snap. The wedding heart for my friend, I worked on that for 1 day, and it was about 302 stitches. Actually, I think it was closer to 500, but I forgot to tally stitches 1 day, so I'm just calling it 302. Middle Earth I worked on for 4 days, and I did 844 stitches on that one. And then Avatar Alphabet I worked on for 3 days, and I did 1,782 stitches. Part of the large amount of stitches on that one is because I had to frog and then restitch a bunch because I don't pay close attention sometimes, and I end up having to redo a lot, which is really, and the same with Dark Queen. I pretty much had to redo all of one of the parts because part 11 wasn't matching up. You guys, I'm a mess when it comes to that sometimes. So in total for the month of June, I did 8,210 stitches, and I had 1 start, which was the wedding gift for my friend's daughter, and so I had 1 start and 1 full finish, which is that one. So those are my June stats. So, I mean, 8,000 stitches in the month of June. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. It's not what I've been doing the whole year, but it's not terrible. It could have been far worse. Jordy, sorry, he's sniffing over there, and I know my husband has some pistachios on the floor. You guys, I just recently tried pistachios for the first time, and I kind of like them a lot, and I've had a real problem with snacking on pistachios a lot. I went pretty much my whole life telling myself that I did not like pistachios, that I liked almonds and peanuts and walnuts, and that was it, and no other nut was delicious. So I tried a pistachio, and it turns out they are quite delicious. Who knew? I'm sure everybody who likes pistachios, so I'm just saying, it's deliciousness. Now he's licking the floor because my dog is my dog. So, well, let's talk about my dog for a minute because obviously the 4th of July happened. And I've been really, really nervous because this dog is a gigantic scaredy cat. And we had a thunderstorm, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks before the 4th of July. And it was a pretty loud thunderstorm that lasted for a while. And he was on our bed just cowering. He was shaking. He was panting heavily. He's got a heart condition because of the heartworms that he had. I was scared to death he was going to give himself a heart attack because he was so amped up. And so we bought a thunder jacket for him because we were told, you know, this thunder jacket, if you wrap them up tightly, it's kind of like swaddling a baby. It's a comfort thing, and that can help. And so the first thunder jacket came and it was too small. So we ordered a second one and they sent the complete wrong size, even though the receipt says a large and the one they sent was extra small. Just, you know, but luckily it was through Amazon, so we returned them both. I went with a different brand and got the thunder jacket. Here's a picture of him in it. Anyway, so we put the thunder jacket on him during a thunderstorm that was coming, and he still shook a little bit, but it definitely was not as bad. But I was really, really nervous because we would take him out on a walk, and leading up to the 4th of July, people were still kind of shooting off fireworks, and the second he hears anything that sounds like a popping or a loud boom, he just turns around and books it back to the house. He's just so scared. So I called the vet and just asked them if there was anything they could do, and they gave me a prescription for a sedative, and they said, you know, give it to him a couple hours before something's gonna happen. And we tried it on him because the night before the 4th there was another thunderstorm, so we put the jacket on, we tried the sedative, and he didn't act like he was sedated at all. He was up running around doing everything. So we were really nervous, but we tried it again on the 4th. We gave it to him a couple hours before, and wouldn't you know it, we had a bed. He crawled under my husband's desk into the corner. And I've read a bunch of articles that say you need to let a dog go where they feel comfortable when they're scared. And so my husband kind of coaxed him out and put his bed under there, and then he went back in and he fell asleep. And he slept through the entire 4th of July. You guys, have you ever been to an actual fireworks show and you have the people that are launching the fireworks up? One street over, they were launching fireworks into the air. So launch, boom, launch. It was like a fancy show in our neighborhood. And then right across the street, we had people, and I'm at least 50, just a line of like 50 fireworks just constantly going off. My husband went outside and said it sounded like a war zone out there. And I mean, he would know, he's been in one. So, and this dog slept through the entire night. So, thankfully, I did not have a terrified Poochie on the 4th of July. So he's good, he's happy. Now we put his thunder jacket on when it's raining outside, and he seems to do okay. He still shakes a lot, but he doesn't get to the point where I feel like he's hyperventilating. So good news on that. All right, so acquisitions. Now that the dog story is done. Probably should have waited till the end of the video for the dog story. So sorry if you don't care about life stuff. Anyway, acquisitions first. I got Pippin. I just, you know, he's cute. Like my Lord of the Rings things. I have a bunch of them saved in my wish list on Amazon, and sometimes I'll get notified of a price change, and he went to under $10. I'm like, I'm totally gonna get him. Also, I have some fabric that is on its way to me from 123 Stitch. It has not shipped yet, so I don't know when it will get here. It's just a plain color, because a viewer of mine told me that I think it's the Witchy Stitcher is doing a cryptid Sal stitch along. So I went and I looked it up, and I have no idea because I think it's a mystery. So it's supposed to go from now to January, not now, but August 1st to January, and it's going to be I think twice a month, or it might even be one cryptid a week. I can't remember. There's going to be a bunch of little cryptids on there. And I've seen some of their other, like Chopping Mall, which is one that I kind of want to get. I just haven't yet. And I love it. I think it's great. So the cryptid thing is going to be so cool. So I totally bought it, you guys. Totally. So hashtag cryptid Sal. So I will be doing that. And there's no real picture of what it is, just the kind of the cover picture from the website. But I did order it, so if any of y'all are interested and want to jump in on the cryptid sale, you have till August 1st. That's when the border is released, and then they're going to start, I think it's once a week. It might be 3 a month, and then the last week of the month is meant for catch-up. Don't quote me on that because I just read through it really quickly. So anyway, and it's all DMC, although it sounds like a lot of black. So if you have, you know, a cone of black, good on you. I need to find a black cone. I need to get one because, anyway, I use a lot of black, obviously. So that's coming. And then also I joined the Facebook group. Is it Bestitch Me? I think it's Bestitch Me with Friday Night Fight Night. It's fabric and silk dyeing. A lady who does that. And Friday nights, they post a bunch of fabrics in different counts and different fabric styles, and then you just have to be the first to comment, and then if you do, you get an invoice, and then you pay for it, and then she ships it to you, and it's all great stuff. I tried a fight night, and I totally didn't get anything because I didn't get on there on time. Last night, was it last night? No, it was the other night, this last Friday. I'm pretty sure I was first on at least 3 different fabrics. Don't quote me on it. I haven't gotten an invoice yet, so I don't know, but I might have some new fabric for the next video from that. I didn't even look at what I just went into the thing and I was like, me. I just found the first one that was empty because I'm pretty sure that's kind of what you have to do. Yeah. So anyway, so I might have that. Plus, I'm planning a trip to In Stitches sometime soon because I want to get the Jack-o'-lantern Jubilee, which is it's just like my 4th of July one that I have. It's 5 small patterns in one little booklet, but for Halloween. And you guys, I'm a Halloween nut. I know it, you know it, and it will probably be just like my Red, White, and Bloom, where I have all these great intentions to have them done by Halloween, and of course they won't be done by Halloween because So those are the acquisitions, which I can't really show you much of, but whatever pictures I had, hopefully I inserted them where they belonged. So I guess let's just start with finishes. And guess what, guys? I have a bunch of finishes. First, it is not ironed, so there we go. I don't have a fancy whiteboard, but Never-Ending Cycle. I finished that. And isn't it awesome? So I only have 2 more in the laundry trio. And I know she does a kitchen trio. And I swear I just saw another one that looked like fun that was coming out, but I can't remember what it was. So I need to go look at it again. But it might be a kitchen or a baking trio, but I'm really loving hands-on design. It's a lot of stitching, but it's easy stitching. I think the hardest part of this was this part because you're stitching the negative space, not the letters. But super easy. I think I worked on this a total of 3 days to start and finish. So I finished that. And since I'm showing you this stuff, I started Loads of Fun. I only worked on this for 1 evening and I'm already about a quarter of the way done. These ones are obnoxious. I'm just gonna say that right now. There's 7 of them. So each time I pull this out, I'm planning to stitch at least 2 of these, if not 3. And then I'm halfway done with the laundry baskets, and then down here is, I think, some shirts or something. And pretty much this is the hardest part of the entire thing. So I started that, and this will probably be finished soon because I'm really into stitching right now things that can be finished quickly. I love my big projects that take me a long time, but I also love the feeling of accomplishing something. So if I can accomplish something, I'm totally gonna. So I'm enjoying that, and sometimes the small projects are fun. My next finish is Red, White, and Bloom. So this is the largest pattern. I left out, I don't know if I left out a couple things. So up in here, there's this little star, and there's a couple more of those little stars kind of around here. I didn't enjoy, I mean, it's not super pretty of a star, and I didn't really care for it, so I didn't put the star in. So this was the biggest one, and then the rest of them are all small. So I think I can fit one here and one here, and then I have another of this size of fabric to get the other two on. But I wanted to do the biggest one first, so I made sure that I had plenty of excess fabric for that, for when I make it into a pillow. So 1 out of 4 on red, white, and blue, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start another one soon. I don't know exactly when, but you know, easy to stitch. So that one's finished, so yay. Hold on, I'm trying to fold this so that the needle doesn't poke me when I put it back in. Where is this one? So here, I'll show you really quick, because I'm super organized. So this is the one I just finished, and then, I mean, that's a teeny tiny one, and then this one probably has a ton of, it's got a lot more stitching, and this one has a lot more stitching, and these two are fairly small. So I'm probably gonna do these two on this one, and then these two on the other one. And I should just start them, because I could probably get this one done in a day, because I mean, it looks like it's less than 100 stitches. No, just kidding. It's probably like 200 or 300 stitches, but still, that's not that many. So I should just work on those maybe tonight. My husband's playing some video games tonight, and I'm listening to audiobooks. I'll get into that later, show you some of my audiobooks. My last finish for the month, you guys, 11sies. I finished it. So now I got to figure out how I'm actually going to fully finish it to display it in my kitchen. So Heather Miller, one of my subscribers, she sent me a picture of hers. She was doing this one as well, and she finished hers, and her fabric choice was so much better than this. It's all colorful and fun, and mine is just black. But she draped hers over a canvas. So it's a canvas finish, which I've never seen before, and I loved it. So I'm tempted to do the same for this, and then I can just kind of lean it up against the wall, because I don't have a lot of wall space in this house, and so I still haven't even hung up my wacky witches that I got back from the framers, because I don't have a lot of space in this house where I can see these things. So if I can, you know, make a pillow or something where I can lean it somewhere. I have some shelf space in my kitchen, so if I could lean this up against the wall or on one of the shelves, that would be perfect. So that's 3 finishes in June, you guys. 3 finishes. They're not massive, they're not gigantic things, but 3 finishes. Well, and then of course the page finish for Dark Queen of the Sea, which here is what part 10 looked like done. And then part 11 dropped. And so I started, and it's this tentacle here. And so I've done this part. So this tentacle is going to come down in here. And then I think there's like a coil here, and then this coil up. So it's a lot. There's going to be a lot of stitching on this as well. These last few parts. But it is confirmed that this is the last stitching part for Dark Queen. Next month, which is 12, the 12th part, the last part, is going to be beading and back stitching. So you guys, she's almost done. And then I will have the cryptid Sal to keep me happy until another fun, I kind of like the mystery Sal, kind of. If I'm honest, I probably would not have picked this out to stitch by myself, but I've had a great time stitching it. And my husband and I have decided that we're going to frame it and put it in one of the bathrooms, because for some reason mermaids and evil sea creatures work really well in a bathroom. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've noticed when I go visit people, a lot of times there's like sea creatures or mermaids in their bathrooms. So I'm going to, that's kind of the plan for that. The last thing that I worked on is I worked some more on Garden Prelude. I'm right now just kind of filling in some of the gaps along here. I'm trying to, so what I did is the way my Mirabilia pattern is folded is it's kind of like, it's not folded in half and then in half. It's like folded in half and then in thirds. And I'm not doing the whole pattern. And so I've got, I think, 5 different pages because what I did is I photocopied the pages. So this right here is 1 page. And then there's another page that has the rest of this part of the dress. And then there's another page that has the train. And then there's another page that has half the bodice, and then another page that has the other half of the bodice with the hair and stuff. And so right now I'm just trying to get this page finished. And then because I'm not able to notate very clearly, I actually have to pull the pattern out to make sure that because it's on a crease, on a fold. So there's one line that doesn't get photocopied. And so I have to go in and I have to look at the pattern and manually go through this and then just make sure everything lines up. It's kind of frustrating. Oh, how I wish that Mira's could come in PDF format. I mean, PDF format is just so much easier in general, right? At least for me. It used to be paper format I loved, but anyway, I think I put like 400 or 500 stitches in this. I filled in a bunch of spaces. So it's looking so pretty. So I need to work some more on this, and I have not done anything on Stargazer. You guys, I was so excited to have finished the stitching on Stargazer, and I thought I would have it beaded up so quick, but I just haven't. Yeah, I just haven't. So, but that's good stitching. I did a lot of good stitching. I have not really been keeping a good, like, I'm keeping track of the stitching. I have not been tallying it and putting it towards things in my Facebook groups because, to be honest, sometimes it's just exhausting. So I'm putting it towards things in Magical Stitches, but I haven't really been super involved in Semi-Sane. I did the songs one for Semi-Sane last month. And then when Facebook had its glitch, I kind of gave up on that. And then I wanted to, you guys, I was prepping and I was getting ready to do bingo. And so bingo for Semi-Sane, you had to create your bingo board in the last 2 weeks of June. And then in July you could start, but your bingo board had to be approved first. And I realized on the morning of July 1st that I hadn't done my bingo board. So I'm actually not really doing much this month for Semi-Sane, which is fine because this month is busy. My husband has some time off. We're going to do some exploration. I've got a daughter going on a trip, and, you know, we're trying to get some stuff done. And it's summer. So there's that. So that's all the stitching that I've done. I've done a bunch of reading. I don't think I have a list of the books here. Yeah. I've done a bunch of reading in the past week because I'm bored of YouTube. Do you guys ever get that way where you're bored of TV shows, so then you start watching movies, or you're bored of movies, so you watch TV, or you're bored of both of those, so you watch YouTube little short videos, and then you're just bored of all of it? And so I go through phases where all I want to do is read or listen to books, and I don't want TV, and I don't want visual stimulation. I just want to hear a story. So let me see, where is my notebook? Yeah, it's right here. So I've actually been, so far, 1, 2, 3, I've done 8 books in July so far. So a lot of them were just kind of, Audible. I love Audible, and I do a lot of books, and they were having a 2-for-1 sale where if you purchase or use 1 credit for 1 book, you could get a second as long as it came out of a series or a pre-selected set of books. So I actually picked up a few through there from authors I'd never heard of, and they were okay. I did pick up my first Lisa Jackson book, and I decided I don't necessarily like her books. I don't know. There were so many things in the story that were so completely unbelievable, or like, why would you do that? I mean, the whole premise of the book was a big, why on earth would you even do that? But the book that I read was called If She Only Knew. It was entertaining, but it was really long. And again, at the end, I was just sitting here going, but that whole issue could have been solved by this one thing happening at the very beginning. So anyway, but the one, let's see, what was it? There were a couple I really liked. Leanne Moriarty. Never read any of her books. One of hers was on this buy one, get one free type thing, and it was called What Alice Forgot. And it was awesome. I really liked that story, you guys. It was a good story. It was definitely not what I was expecting. And throughout it, it also didn't follow the same avenue that I thought it would, which was really cool, because a lot of times, you know, you can kind of tell, oh yeah, if you're watching a movie, you'll be like, oh yeah, there's going to be a misunderstanding between the boy and the girl, and it could be easily solved if they had a conversation, but of course they won't, and then there's going to be this huge kerfuffle, and then they're going to... That's what I do with books too. I can kind of tell, oh, this is going to happen. And that one surprised me, because certain things that I expected to happen didn't. And that made me excited. But also, because I liked it so much, I went to look up some of her other ones. And one of the books that was there was called Big Little Lies, which I know is an HBO show. And I don't watch HBO shows because a lot of times there's nudity and lots of stuff in it. So I tend to avoid that. But I decided to read the book. And it surprised me. I thought it was going to be kind of a trashy book, and it really wasn't. I was really impressed with the strength of the friendships and while there was definitely some, you know, backstabby feel to it, most of the characters were really solid, and I really, really loved how perception is portrayed in the book. What somebody sees as opposed to what happens, what they see is thinking about what actually happens, and what their perception is, so that the reality that they create from what they see. I really liked how that worked. So I really enjoyed that. So if you have not read Big Little Lies, it's pretty good. It definitely has some language in it, but not as much as I was expecting, and it was good. It was really good. And so now I've got a bunch of her books on hold through my Libby app for the library version, library books, so that I can read some more. Or yeah, because they were good. They were good. But the rest of them were just, you know, I like series. So I read the Women's Murder Club by James Patterson, and I read books by Kathy Reichs and stuff. So I've got a few of those. And I've got a bunch of, right now I'm going through my Audible, because I have a bunch of books from different sales that I've purchased but never actually gotten to the point of reading. And so now I'm just going through them, and I'm reading them without reading the book description. So it's kind of like a surprise, because I don't remember what they are. Like, I have one called Summit Lake, and I can't remember for the life of me what it's supposed to be about, but I obviously bought it, so it must have been intriguing. So I'm going to listen to it and be surprised. So that's what I'm doing as far as reading, and that's kind of it. I don't think I have anything else to share with you guys. So I'm gonna say good night, because it is nighttime, and I gotta get my kiddos ready for bed and get myself all situated in a comfy stitchy spot, and then just have a nice stitchy night, I guess. So thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will talk to you again in a couple of weeks. Bye.